instead of using bread in my stuffing, I'm going to use some tortilla chips, right? So basically, when I think of stuffing, it's bread, it's vegetables, mirepoix, and then it's these fall herbs, and some sort of turkey stock or turkey drippings. If you just take it and break down the elements of the recipe, you can replace those things with other things. So here, I'm going to use tortilla chips instead of bread. I'm going to use chorizo sausage instead of what might be some breakfast sausage or Italian sausage. And I'm going to add some poblano peppers and jalapenos to my mirepoix. But it's still going to be pretty traditional. So I'm going to start cooking it, Rach. I'm going to head back on the stove and get into this with the 2-camera setup here. And again, like I mentioned, when we're talking about stuffing, it's a pretty simple recipe. And I'm going to start mine with just a little bit of bacon drippings that I have from breakfast, right? Yes, if you're the person who saves bacon drippings, this is a great place to use it.
My grandpa had them in a can on the counter right next to the stove.
It's always, it's like the instant coffee can. I'm old enough to say that is how my, grandparents under the sink, some instant coffee can filled with drippings. And then I'm going to add to that. And again, it can be olive oil if you want it to be olive oil. It could be turkey drippings if you made stock the night before. And now I'm going to add my mirepoix, which is, onions and carrots and celery. Those are the flavors we really, really recognize when it comes to stuffing. Yep. But I'm also going to add some poblano and jalapenos to this. And I'm going to turn this up and just start sweating my mirepoix. And instead of using like a mild breakfast sausage, I'm going to use some chorizo here. So it's got some red pepper flake. It's got some paprika. And I'm going to add the chorizo to my mixture of the mirepoix. So that's starting to cook. And now I'm going to add some of my herbs, right? So this is going to be sage and rosemary and parsley, the iconic herbs of stuffing and Thanksgiving.
Yes, so synonymous with Thanksgiving.
Exactly. And that's going to sort of, again, give us some of that nostalgia of a classic stuffing recipe. Start working that flavor in there. I'll add a little salt, a little pepper. I have my chorizo now. It's cooking. I have all my mirepoix in there. I'm going to add some raisins that I've soaked in some sherry vinegar and some pine nuts. But this could be any sort of nut that you want to use and any sort of little sweet thing like raisins, currants, cranberry, craisins that are going to add that
raisins.
Sort of chocolate.
I was just going to say the dried sweetened cranberries, right? The craisins. Or exactly. Even if you had apricot or dates, you could chop them, just little bits of sweet.
Okay, so now here comes the controversial part of this recipe. I'm going to add some corn tortilla chips. This is gonna function as the bread would in a traditional stuffing. So my tortilla chips go in, and then I'm also gonna put in my chicken stock or turkey drippings, or vegetable stock, or really whatever you want. And this is stuffing. Now, when it comes to a traditional bread stuffing, you might not want to add so much chicken stock so it can get so soggy. With the tortilla chips, because they're a little bit more structural, I'm going to add a decent amount of stock. I'm going to let these chips cook, and then I'm going to pop that mixture into the oven as it all mixes in. And then out of the oven, which right here, Rachel, you'd be so proud of me, even without your culinary team, I arranged a swap out. For today. And this is the finished stuffing, a creative take on a traditional stuffing made with tortilla chips.